Stay tuned because next up is David Charles Allen, Village Properties Realtor and host of The Hop. That's Home Ownership Podcast here with the latest real estate news in Santa Barbara.
Welcome to The Hop. This is David Charles Allen, Realtor at Village Properties in Santa Barbara, California with my great friend and co-host, Patti Teal. I'm doing wonderful today, Patti. How you doing?
I'm doing great too, David.
Good. We got a lot more rain the last couple of days, and looking ahead, it's going to be about around 60s up and down. It's going to get really cool at night, and then maybe some more rain on the horizon as well.
Yeah, you guys have had a long, cool spell. That's kind of unusual for Santa Barbara.
It's been a cool winter, and again, all the rain too. Everything's green. It's really beautiful around here.
Yeah. So is the drought officially over?
Depends who you're talking to.
Okay. Residents probably feel like it must be over. We've had so much rain.
Lakes are filling up. It's just a great time to be here. Everything's nice and green. It doesn't feel like you're in Santa Barbara because, the last 5-10 years, all the mountainsides have been dry and kind of dead looking, and now everything's just vibrant.
Oh, and the flowers in Santa Barbara are always so beautiful.
We always do this walk, and some of the weeds have grown like a foot or two in like a day. It's crazy how much they're thriving as well.
Mm-hmm. I know that happens here in Florida too. Once the rains, I swear, the grass just does grow, or the weeds, whatever it is. Anyway, they do seem like in a matter of a couple of days, they're a foot taller.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
They're loving it.
Yeah. Is it monarch butterfly time in Santa Barbara? I forget when they go through there.
I always forget as well. I know there were some issues or some rumors I heard about someone trying to poison the monarchs or get them to not come back because they want to develop it into houses.
Oh, dear. That's a terrible story. We'll have to try to get to the bottom of the monarch butterfly story.
Yeah, I don't know how much truth is behind that, but I know some kind of ownership has been wanting to turn more of it into houses and whatnot. And the big holdup is the butterflies. So,
let's hope nobody's trying to hurt them. I know all the school kids in Santa Barbara used to take a little field trip to see the butterflies.
Yeah, it used to be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of how the surf is going, we have some surf out there. It's just a little stormy. So there may be a couple spots that you can get some good waves, at least good for today. Maybe tomorrow there could still be some going on.
Well, I hope so. I know surfers just wait for that.
They're probably out there now just trying to get something.
Just hoping. Yes.
Just hoping. Dealing with the surf. In terms of how interest rates have performed too, up slightly since last week. We're at 5.5 for 30-year jumbo and 6.25 for 30-year conforming.
Okay. And how does that compare to last week? It was just a slight increase?
So last week we were at 6% for 30-year conforming, and the week before that it was 6.5. So
it's just kind of up and down, but just a little.
Yeah, it dropped 0.5% when that whole bailout happened, and then seems to be coming back up. They're saying now they're going to keep hiking them higher and higher. Right.
And you've really informed me and our listeners how big a difference that makes in a house payment.
Yeah, with prices not descending either, interest rates rising, it's a huge task each month to come up with these monthly payments.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of how the statistics have performed, we're at 30 new listings, 12 price changes, 22 that closed, 30 that went pending, 6 that are coming soon. 3 back on the market. So 30, we're still hovering around the 30s. I feel like we've been in this range for months now. Not too much of a buildup of the supply either, with 30 pending, pretty much even. But we are seeing some homes that haven't been selling. 12 price changes is pretty good. So there's still homes that are sitting and not selling as quick as the more desirable locations or homes in those neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, I know spring is usually high season, isn't it, for new listings? And we're kind of right at spring break right now. It's good that it's up, but I'm sure everyone wishes it was up even more.
The thing about spring, when new listings coming up, new buyers are entering back in the market. So if we're not getting a bunch of new listings and new buyers are coming back in and they're worried about rates hikes, it could be a run of prices again. It's really just hard to say.
Yeah, it's a tricky time in a lot of ways.
I know for Santa Barbara, at least, that could be a potential where prices could start going back up again. But I'm not too sure about other places of the country. It seems like it's really slowed down in other locations.
a lot of the areas that went up the most, I think Phoenix is one, Austin, Texas, even San Francisco have really dipped back down. So I don't know whether you want to call it prices are dropping or it's just kind of a correction because they went up so quickly. But there has been a big change in a lot of areas.
I just think there's so much investor money coming into single family homes now. It's really putting a squeeze on the normal person and putting them in a really fear mind state of not knowing when the right time is and if they're going to be able to afford it and what's really going on in the market even at all.
Yeah, that's so difficult because the last thing you want to do is buy if you think prices are going to go down.
Yeah, especially with the rates they are now. It's really tough.
Yeah.
And any questions for the day for me?
Yeah, it kind of goes along with this, David, because obviously everyone in real estate who works on a commission basis is affected by this. Not only real estate agents, but lenders and escrow officers. So I kind of just wondered, so many people look to find listings that they might be interested in on Zillow or Redfin. But then if you reach out and call them, are you inadvertently cutting your own realtor out? Because I know they immediately get back to you and try to show you and sell you homes. So how does that all work?
If you're looking on Zillow or Redfin, usually if you send a message through Zillow or Redfin, the agent that's going to contact you back is someone that's paying for advertising on their website.
Oh,
yeah. And then you can contact the agent directly who's selling the home. Usually their contact information isn't on there because they want you to go through the advertising part of it. So you have to find their name and then you have to search for them on your own off Zillow and then find their number and whatnot. But if you have an agent, you want to just usually send them stuff you're interested in, any questions you have.
Right. Like, I'm interested in this house. I saw it on Zillow. What do you know about it? Or could you arrange a showing? So that would probably be the best way to do it if you want to continue working with an agent that you're fond of or you think is very good.
Yeah, that's just the most trust growing experience you can do. There's a lot of people that don't want to bother their agent or they feel like they're taking up too much of their time. So they'll do some research on their own and then just go to a couple open houses that weekend or the homes they like. It really depends what stage they're at. If they're really in the looking phase or if they're in the ready to buy phase.
Right. Just kind of learning the market a little bit. So at that phase, maybe you don't want to actually reach out to a realtor. You just kind of want to see what's out there.
Yeah, you're learning the market. You can always have a realtor that you want to go to when things get more serious, but you can kind of just go to open houses and kind of explore. And then if you see an open house and you have questions about neighborhoods and stuff, then you can really ask your realtor like, hey, I went to a couple open houses. I think the best thing is just being honest with them, that you don't feel like you're wasting anyone's time. And I think the worst thing about being a real estate agent is always having in the back of the mind, like all this work I put into and someone else could come in and get the deal, so to say. If you don't have a trust between the people you're working with, you could go 1 or 2 years spending all this time with someone and really learning the ropes and teaching them so many things. And then for them to go to an open house and write an offer with the agent holding the open house.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
And it happens a lot more than you think too. So I think it's all about the trust relationship between the person you're helping and the person you want to kind of have guidance from.
Yeah, makes sense. So trust and transparency, I think, are two keys that must be very, very important.
Yeah, it's definitely very important in this kind of business too.
So is it time to go to our fur babies section?
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah. So how are your fur babies doing?
Everyone's doing really well. Bailey, she doesn't like the rain so much, but she doesn't mind if it's drizzling. She'll still go on her walks and love it. But if it's raining too hard, she's like, just pick me up and carry me. And then the other dogs don't want to leave the park when it's raining. They just want to go play in all the puddles. They just want to do it all.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, my dogs are babies in the rain too. So if it's sprinkling or raining, they try to get out of it. So that's very funny how different they all are.
Yeah, I think it depends. The short coats just don't like the rain. And then anyone with a long coat, they're just like, it doesn't even get to my skin. Doesn't bother me at all.
Right. So I don't know if I mentioned this, David, but I've been binge watching Cesar Malone's show, the dog whisperer. So,
Yeah.
and I know some people are not fond of his work, but I actually think he does a lot of good. It's been very, very interesting. I feel as though I've learned a lot. So one of the things he talks about is the front of the pack dogs, the middle of the pack dogs, and back of the pack dogs, that some are naturally one or the other. That's what they were born to be. So I've definitely decided that Ollie is a back of the pack dog. And so that's why he's so hyper vigilant, because what they do is kind of keep a watch on what's around. They alert the pack to any danger. And I swear, sometimes I think he has PTSD or something. He hears any little noise and he's looking around. But it also, if they don't feel like their pack leader, their person is not confident, then they can become kind of aggressive. And he did that when he was younger. He's completely over it now because they don't feel safe. They don't feel like their person is protecting them. So they have to do something that they naturally don't want to do. And then there's the front of the pack dogs, who their job is to direct the entire pack. And then the middle, they're kind of like the mediators between the two. So it's kind of fun to figure out what your dogs are. Does anything come to mind with any of your dogs that they're definitely one or the other?
It's hard to say. I feel like everyone wants to be the front. So
they all want to be the front. Oh, yeah.
They all want to be the front.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. My daughter's dog, Tuffy, he definitely wants to be in the front. And if he's not, he'll practically like strangle himself to get up there. And so it's really important to him to be in the front. Ollie doesn't care. He doesn't mind being in the back, but I think it explains some of his hypervigilance and how he's always looking around.
Yeah, no, they all want to walk in the front.
So you've got a whole pack of pack leaders.
Yeah. And then Bailey, it's dangerous for her to walk in the front because then the other dogs will trample her.
Oh, she can get trampled. Oh, dear.
Yeah. If we're going on a hike or in the front, the dogs will just run right over her. It's
my gosh. Poor Bailey. It's tough to be the tiny one, a pack of giant dogs.
Yeah. She has to be in the back. But her favorite part about like walks and hikes is when the other dogs go on leash. Because then she just runs up to the front and just starts doing her thing.
I'm free and you're not. Yeah. Of course, we've always got the birth order thing because she's your firstborn. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So who knows? Well, anyway, please send us your stories about your dogs. And we'd like to dedicate this hop and this fur baby segment to Pip, who recently passed away. Just a darling little Westie who was very beloved.
Yes, indeed. And they always have great lives. And it's always really sad when you have to say goodbye to them. They're always going to be with you. That's for sure.
Yes, they are. Well, thank you, David, for all the real estate news. It was an interesting discussion. And I look forward to hearing more next week.
Yes, give it go next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, Patti. See ya.